Another thing about this dragon. Okay, so their like guide tells them, oh, make sure when you kill the dragon, don't wake up the mother. And so, what does Baby Doll do when she gets the two stones that make fire in the little lair where the baby dragon is? She clicks them together and like makes this big fireball and wakes up the mother. I'm like, are you fucking retarded? Like, wouldn't you go outside and like to play around with your little fire thing? She's like, oh, 2 stars. Oh, right, don't wake the mother. Oh wow, and then the movie tries to get emotional, and the dragon comes up and she's all like, brah, and like breathing fire at the chicks, and she looks down and sees her baby, and she's just like, oh, my baby, and the music gets all like dramatic, and I burst out laughing. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. It was so fucking hilarious, and then Monster just goes back to being like just like blah, and like screaming and yelling and shit. This movie is, by the end, I hated all these characters. They were so dull and uninteresting, and I didn't care about anything that was happening to them. When they started dying, I was cheering. Okay, what is his name? Whoever played Blue, the guy who was keeping them in the mental hospital, he was my favorite character, because at the end of the movie, he basically just starts killing them off, like with a gun for no reason. He just like starts shooting them. I was like fist pumping every time he did it. I was just like, yes, they're dead. Yes, they're dead. And then he kills 2 of them, and he hands his gun to his like lackey, and he's like, I hate guns. Oh my god, I died laughing at that. I was standing, I think I was sitting right next to like production crew, and I burst out laughing at that scene. I thought I was like that was so freaking hilarious. What I thought was really funny is by the end of the movie almost starts agreeing with me, because Baby Doll gets like a lobotomy, and of course, when you see her, she has like no mark on her forehead, even though they jam a gigantic, like spike into your head, but like, 5 minutes later, there's not even like a mark on her at all, and like, I don't know, she eventually stabs Blue or something, and Blue gets really pissed off, and it's like, now he's not in the brothel anymore, it's like back to the original like mental hospital or whatever, and he's like I'm gonna take care of her, I'm gonna like beat her up or whatever, and he like sits her down, and like he looks at her, and like because she's like dead, because like she's gotten a lobotomy, and he's like no, you have to look at me, you have to look. I'm like yeah, it's just like the movie, it's like, no, you can't die right now, I have to beat the shit out of you for making me sit through this shit, I have to like beat the crap, how dare you not be alive, how dare you not be up like in there, you gotta suffer just like I suffered for this movie. And it's just like, it's like the movie's telling me this. And then I don't know, she helps one of the girls escape. That was also really funny when one of the girls, the sisters, one of them dies, and she's like, and like there's like a bomb next to her, and it's like going 7, 6, and then like she's telling her sister, you have to promise me 2 things, because like she's about to die. She's like, number 1, you won't get mad about this. I'm like, dude, there's a fucking bomb, why are you like talking about, like they literally stop and like have a conversation while this bomb's about to go off. And then she's like, number 2, tell mom I love her, of all things, that's of course what she's gonna say. And like, so Baby Doll helps her escape, and thus like, like dooming herself in the process, because this isn't my story, this was your story, some bullshit, I don't care. And like, she gets on a bus, and like she sees the old guy who's been like helping them through the dreams that only Baby Doll has ever seen. So again, like, where like why is he on this bus? And he's like this bus driver, and the cops stop the girl from getting on the bus, and they want to ask her a few questions, and he's like, oh, she's been with me for the whole ride, and so they're like, oh, okay, all right. And then he's like, oh, and one more thing. And the cop's like, I said all right. Almost like, can we finish this movie? Can this movie just end? I said all right. Okay, can you just like move on and get on the bus? And the guy's just like, she's been a joy the entire journey. I'm just like, oh my, and then they had a narration at the end, which again made no sense, and we're just like, again, I was just like, can this movie end? Can it please end? And then it finally ends, and me and my friend ran out of the theater, and like everybody in my theater, it wasn't just me, it was everyone in my theater, nobody clapped. Everyone walked out and was just like, what the fuck did we just see? That was like the biggest honking piece of shit I've seen in a long time. I give this movie 3 out of 10 stars. I'll give you 3 reasons for my 3-star rating. Number 1, I liked the guy who played Blue. He was very entertaining, and when he started killing off the girls, I was very happy. So good job on you. You made an excellent performance. Number 2, I liked the train scene, actually, for the first 2 minutes, until it kept going and it didn't end, and it was just the same shit over and over, slow motion, and one continuous shot. It was just like, cut, like, slow motion, she cuts him, then like you see like gun bullet, and then like slow motion, like he shoots another one through the head. It just kept going on and on and on for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but can you do something different? And the third reason was I like that he put Bjork's Army of Me in there, because that's a really good song and I really like it. But other than that, this movie had nothing going for it. This movie was basically a bunch of people playing video games on the easiest difficulty with all the cheats turned on. Unlimited ammo, indestructibility, unlimited lives, and you're just going through just these random set pieces that really have nothing to do with one another. It's just a big disjointed mess, and the plot like surrounding it, them trying to escape from this mental hospital, is, again, it fails miserably because you don't care about the characters. None of them are interesting. None of them have personality. Not even like a little bit of personality. She's the spunky one. She's, kind of smart. She's kind of, athletic. No, they're just all like slut dancers, and that's it. But again, because it's PG-13, you don't actually get them to, you don't actually get to see them act slutty. When I was going to this movie, I thought it was going to be hot chicks doing hot chick things, making out with each other, like doing some weird strip dancing, doing like all that stuff, and like tons of action, tons of gore, tons of violence, tons of like in-your-face, fast-paced action, not slow, melodic, boring, dull action scenes that go nowhere, and they just go through one thing to another with no build-up, no nothing. Everything's done so quickly. And like everything's just like wrapped up so tightly in a nice little package, and it's just such a dull movie. It was so boring. It was terrible, and I'm gonna say, go watch Battle of Los Angeles again. I like that movie. I gave that movie like a 6 out of 10. I didn't even like it that much, but it was way better than this piece of shit. I mean, at least that movie had some decent action in it. This movie had, a hint of decent action in it, and then it went away when it didn't change. Zach, I honestly believe that this might get you fired from the Superman role, because if this is the kind of movie you're gonna make, I know it won't be your script. I know you're just gonna be directing it, but if this is the kind of shit you're gonna be doing, and especially if this movie does well, I think Nolan's just gonna fire your ass, because Nolan's not gonna wait around for that shit. He hired you for one reason. You know how to get shit done fast. That is true. You can shoot a movie really quickly, and just get done what needs to be done. And I hope you kind of learn from this mistake and listen to all the criticisms and just kind of realize what you're doing and how wrong it is, and how you shouldn't be acting like this. This was your carte blanche movie. This is your movie where the studio said, you know what? Here's the money. You've given us some good projects in the past. We're gonna let you do whatever you want. He had nobody telling him, that's stupid or this is stupid. And when some directors, if they aren't given, boundaries to play within, and not go out of, they just go crazy. And this is what this movie is. This is Zach on no holds bar. Nothing's holding him back. And it's just insanity. It's just his childish little mind is just going nuts, and he can't handle the fact that he has no boundaries. Some directors need boundaries, and Zach, you are one of them. If I put a whole bunch of walls in your way of what you can and can't do, you can probably be very creative, like you were with Dawn of the Dead, when you had nobody, you were a nobody director and nobody believed in you. They probably put so much shit in front of you that you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't do that, and you had to work really hard to make it a good movie. And so that was admirable what you did with that movie. But now that people are giving you more and more credit, and they're just not, giving you any limitations, you just can't handle it. You just can't have. You're not Nolan, okay? You're not Christopher Nolan. You're not even Peter Jackson. Could like even King Kong. That was his like do whatever the hell you want movie, and that was like pretty decent. But like you're not those kind of people. You need walls in front of you. You need obstacles to get around. Because this just proves how inept you are when you're just let to your own devices. 3 out of 10. Don't see it. Save your money. Go watch Source Code next week. That's probably going to be 50 times better. Go watch Adjustment Bureau. Go watch Rango. Go watch even Battle LA. Anything but this. Save your money. Give Zach a message showing him that he needs to rethink the way he makes movies. Thank you. Good night.